Ever wondered why lots of folks are leaving the Midwest? Let's find out together. Even though the region has beautiful scenery and a rich history, it's losing people. Here's the catch. While other places struggle with water shortages, the Midwest has the Great Lakes full of fresh water. So why are folks leaving? Stick around as we dig into the interesting history and facts that will grab your attention and explain this migration trend. History. To uncover why many Americans are leaving the Midwest today, we need to look back at its history. Once upon a time, this region was an economic powerhouse for the entire country. The story starts with it being called the original Northwest region of the United States. After the American Revolutionary War ended in 1783, a treaty said it belonged to the US. But taking control wasn't easy. It wasn't until the War of 1812 with Britain that the Midwest was firmly established as part of the US. After that, lots of people moved in, and a big migration boom started. So, what changed to make people leave now? Let's find out. In the early 1800s, the Midwest was a vastly different place than it is today. Back then, it was home to just about 54,000 Americans. But what's truly astounding is what happened over the next 2 decades. Within that short span of time, nearly 800,000 people flocked to the region. What was the driving force behind this massive migration during that era? Well, it all came down to a remarkable initiative by the American government. They offered free land to settlers who were willing to roll up their sleeves and establish farms in the Midwest, eager to claim their own piece of this promising frontier. Furthermore, the Midwest witnessed several waves of migration through the early 1900s. Firstly, African Americans fled the South due to harsh Jim Crow-era laws, leading to the first great migration of African Americans to the northern states. Then, during the Great Depression, there was another migration wave as rural and Dust Bowl residents sought employment in Midwest factories. Lastly, another significant migration occurred as African Americans once again moved northward, away from the southern states. All of these historical factors contributed to the Midwest's growth and changing demographics over time. However, the story today is about why many Americans are leaving this region. Let's explore what's driving this recent trend. Population shift. A real event showcasing the population shift in the Midwest is the decline in population in rural communities and the growth of urban areas. This shift has been particularly evident in states like Illinois. In the early 20th century, Illinois was characterized by a predominantly rural population, with many small farming communities dotting the landscape. However, over the decades, there has been a significant migration of people from rural areas to the urban centers of Chicago and its suburbs. One prominent example of this population shift is the decline of farming communities in the southern part of the state. This shift has resulted in the consolidation of schools, the closure of small businesses, and a general decline in the quality of life in some rural areas. Climate and weather. In recent years, the Midwest has experienced a noticeable increase in extreme weather events, and the significant flood of 2019 serves as a stark illustration of this concerning trend. During this event, a combination of heavy rainfall and melting snow pushed rivers beyond their capacity and caused dams to breach across several states. The result was widespread and devastating flooding, leaving homes, farmlands, and transportation infrastructure in ruins. This flood had a profound impact on the lives of countless residents, disrupting their homes, livelihoods, and communities. What makes this event even more alarming is the growing awareness of the Midwest's vulnerability to extreme weather patterns associated with climate change. As global temperatures rise, the region has become more susceptible to heavy rainfall, flooding, and other severe weather events. This realization has sparked concerns among residents and experts alike about the region's readiness to address these challenges. Additionally, the recognition of climate change's role in exacerbating these weather extremes has prompted discussions about the need for broader strategies to mitigate its effects, including reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In essence, the Midwest's experience with severe weather events like the 2019 flood highlights the urgent need for comprehensive measures to adapt to and mitigate the impacts of a changing climate in the region. Economic opportunities. In the Midwest, there's been a problem with jobs and the economy, and a real event that shows this is when the big General Motors, GM car factory in Lordstown, Ohio, closed down in 2019. This factory had been a big deal for a long time, providing jobs to lots of folks and helping the local economy. But because people's car buying habits changed and GM needed to make changes too, they closed the factory. This meant that thousands of people lost their jobs. This isn't just about one factory though. The whole Midwest has been seeing fewer and fewer jobs in manufacturing, and that's one big reason why people are leaving. When jobs go away, it affects the whole community. Fewer people means less money for local services like schools and hospitals, and that makes folks look for better opportunities in other places. Natural disasters. One significant natural disaster in the Midwest during the early 2000s was the Great Midwest Flood of 2008. This flooding event affected several states, including Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. In the summer of 2008, heavy rainfall and melting snow caused rivers throughout the region to swell. The Iowa River, in particular, experienced record-breaking flooding. Many communities, especially in Iowa, faced devastating inundation, with thousands of homes and businesses damaged or destroyed. Several counties were declared disaster areas, and the floodwaters overwhelmed local infrastructure, including roads and bridges. The Midwest, despite its scenic beauty and economic opportunities, has also faced its share of natural disasters over the years. These events, ranging from devastating floods to tornado outbreaks, have sometimes led people to leave the region. The Midwest's vulnerability to natural disasters can disrupt lives, damage homes, and disrupt local economies. While these events may not be the primary driver of population shifts, they can influence individuals and families to seek safer and more secure locations, contributing to the ongoing population changes in the Midwest. That's a wrap for the reasons why so many Americans are leaving the Midwest. If you learned something, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the following video. This is Vacation Awaits.